All right, taking class notes and making slide decks. These are the notes that we did in class on the 20th and 21st. I'm not going to play the video that's in here, but it is available on YouTube. I just wanted to do a quick overview of what these notes look like. So this is quick, key point quick. I covered it a little better in class. So note taking 101, and yes, I know I'm covering my own Bitmoji right now. I'll leave myself up there out of the way. You want to make sure you put a title and date, abbreviate, make it your own, and then remember you can reuse and reference your notes later. That's going to be important. It's going to come back up in these note-taking notes, no pun intended. To create your own, there's an explanation here of how to create your own. I'll go ahead and drop that link into the description below this video in case you want to go back and take a look at it. Option 1B is to create a Google Doc. A teacher shared one. I had one out on Schoology when we did this assignment, so you could follow along and fill in the blanks. The blanks were on your sheet. I just had blank underlines. So when taking notes in class, it's important to only include key details. Remember to refer back to your notes when working on exit tickets, bell ringers, homework, and tests. And so it's a good thing to go ahead and refer back to those notes. That's why we use them. As far as the project option, I mentioned if you needed more slides, you could go ahead and copy this. So I put continued because this is option 1B carried on. Be sure to keep your notes organized by putting them in folders on Google Drive. And I do show that in the other video that's linked below this video if you're watching it. So put them in folders on Google Drive. You can title your folders based on the current topic or chapter or unit. This way you can always find your notes later. If taking notes on paper, it can be important to abbreviate and make them your own. You do not need to write down every single word on every slide. And in point of fact, I encourage you not to write down every single word on every slide. Okay. Option 2 is going to be handwritten notes. You want to make sure you have a notebook for each class. It's going to help you stay organized. Put a title and date at the top of the page on a given day and only write the key details. Go back and use colors or highlighters to emphasize the important information. Okay. And again, I know I'm going through this part fast. I went through it slower in class, but I wanted to share it back out in case anyone needed to see it. Here's some example notes. These are ones that I actually took handwritten, and you can see I then used the colors, highlighted cash crops and examples of cash crops, highlighted the word plantations because it kept coming up throughout my notes. Then at the end, after class, I went back in with a red pen and added these key points about what the Southern colonies were and how they were different from one another. I didn't highlight plantations again because this was just my key points section at the end. Hold up. Weren't those notes posted on Schoology? And you know what? Yeah, they were. You betcha. So feel free to use those notes when they are posted out there for you guys to help you out. I post them up there on purpose. I make these screencasts on purpose. I want you guys to have these resources. So feel free to go ahead and go back and take a look at it. When it comes to Google Slides, we want to make sure that if we put a background, you recognize that sometimes on a background you can't read what's there. Right here in the middle of my screen it says can't read this, and that's because this background is making it so you can't really see what's there. This slide is intense. I kind of want to know where this is and go ride this slide. Just a side note. Text. Small text, really hard to read. Unless you're looking at this big full screen right now, it could be really hard to read where it says small text on my screen right now. 28-point font is ideal. This text title is actually 38. Titles should be bigger. So bullet points, and remember, you aren't writing an essay or a short answer response on a Google form, so do not have any reason to be using complete sentences when writing out your slide decks. Typically, you're going to either present the information, so you use the slides just kind of like cue cards, or you can convey the information with short bullet points and some appropriate pictures. Obviously, I'm doing this wrong right now on purpose. I see slides like this all the time. Again, writing complete sentences is not what you want to be doing on your slides. Think of texting, just a little more formal language. Keep it short, keep it bullet points, keep it simple. Go ahead and add some pictures to make it pop for you. Make sure they're appropriate to what you're presenting. Preferably, they're not the background. Think about when we looked at that one with the slide where you couldn't read the words that were on there. Usually only 1 to 2 on a slide. You want to make sure you're using them for emphasis, not distraction. So for example, here could be a great slide, potentially, all about photography. Pics, please. I kind of point out that it's all about pictures, but you still want words. You still want people to know what your slide is about. Could this occasionally be an okay type of slide? Yeah, if you're going to go ahead and explain it, if you're going to go ahead and make it work for you. I encourage you to still go ahead and put some kind of bullet point words, make sure it makes sense to people. When it comes to pictures, take the advice of Tim Gunn from Project Runway. Keep a mind on editing. Only include what's actually needed. Okay, that's what we had for today. I did pop in an exit ticket, reminded you to use these skills. You may use your notes for exit tickets, tests, bell ringers, etc. Take advantage. It gives you easy points. If you can go ahead and use your notes on your test, you're going to score more points than you do if you don't consider your notes. Okay, I know I turned into Shia LaBeouf there for a second. There was an assignment. It's the independent lesson 3.5 project Colonial Times slideshow. Reviewed that in class for people that were there. So that's the bell on my thing for here. If you did these notes, turn them in, points. Don't forget the exit ticket if you were in class, points. On any given day, make sure you complete those exit tickets, points. Okay, points are your money when you're in school. And then, of course, questions, comments, anything for the good of the cause, send me an email, send me a G chat. I'll be happy to answer your questions, happy to help you out. Other than that, as always, take care of yourself and each other. Stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask. From my household to yours, we love you. I know this was fast. Come to class. It's a lot slower and easier to get through that. Thanks.